translation, bridge the gap. Communication so real, no cap. A different language for woman and man. Decode the language and you'll understand. Nah, it'll help you out. Rest assured, women have no doubt. Pillow talk, dinner talk. Give you the info to walk the walk. Now, sometimes it's a foreign language. Now know what's up, don't mistake it. This'll help you every situation. Empower yourself, it's liberating, yeah. Communication, don't need no speculation. Just get that clarification, then reconciliation. Man translation, yeah. Man translation, yeah.
Where you at? Come on. Come on in the room. Oh my God. You know what? It's so interesting because I'll be looking forward to our show. We got the best show going. I don't care what nobody say. We got the best show going because we be digging deep down into stuff. You know what I'm saying? So what's up, y'all? We are back. This is Man Translation, and we are here to bridge the gap of communication between men and women. I'm Scott C. This is Dante V, your communication and relationship strategist. And today we're going to be talking about the ultimate deception, the distorted mirror. It's going to be so good. It's going to help your life so much. And that's why we come here. We come here to share our experiences, share our stories, have teachable moments, have a good time, but for the betterment. All for the betterment of your life so that your life can be better. You don't have to live life being unhappy and miserable. You see what I'm saying? You just don't have to, because you need to get answers, you know? And that's what me and Dante, we were just talking about, that when you go through a breakup, that time of separation, that should be a time when you be trying to get answers. You
and
need
get yourself back.
Yeah.
Definitely got to get you back. A lot of people don't do that.
Yes, got to get you back. So, of course, you guys know the reason why we come here and we talk about this, because we share our own stories. And, you know, with the turn of events of everything that's going on in the world, I was thinking about, I'm always thinking about my own life and how I can share my testimony to help make your life better. And I remember when I went through a breakup, I could not, like, you can't understand, like, why didn't I see that? I remember I kept saying, why didn't I see that? Like, how did I miss that?
What? Yes. Unfortunately, hindsight is always going to be 2020. But you also are in your right mind afterwards, because it's so much stuff that you're actually able to see because you're no longer in that situation. It's like when you're in that situation, you're partially blinded. It's like the stuff that you see, you're not actually going to see until you're out of it.
Yeah. You know, and the thing is, for me, it was a situation where, because a lot of times, if people don't get the answers, they blame themselves.
Oh.
Like, they blame themselves for the breakup. I don't know why my camera is jumping up and down.
Oh.
I'm not moving, but you blame yourself, you know, for the breakup, and you go around feeling, you know, like guilt, and then you carry that guilt and that shame into your next relationship.
No. I mean, I've been there. I've been there too many times. You have to, and it took me when I had got divorced. Basically, you can only be accountable for what you've done, but you also have to be mature enough to be like, okay, I did some things wrong, and here's how I would have did it, or here's how I would have fixed it. Of course, given the situation, not everyone has a chance to actually do that. Everyone believes in the whole cause and effect thing. It's like you have to have done something for this to have happened. But it's really more so, this person did this, and this is why I responded or did what I did because of this person. You got to take accountability for yourself. Are you still there, Mo?
I'm still here. My camera unplugged itself, and I don't want to start the broadcast over. So we're just going to keep on going. As long as you guys can hear me, you don't really have to see me. But I'm still here. I'm still here. So yeah, you do. You don't, and people just move to the next relationship and they never ask themselves why the previous relationship didn't work. So how are you supposed to get better? How are you supposed to, be better for the next person? So as I was thinking about this, it is the ultimate deception because it uses you against you.
Because you trust you, so you can believe what you say because you.
And it's an illusion, and it's really interesting because I've been kind of studying this mirroring. I find this mirroring to be it's very effective. Like, we ain't gonna front. It's a very effective tactic that predatory people use to deceive you. And you don't realize that an illusion is being created. You don't even realize that a delusion is being created. And that's where the deception comes in. And it is the ultimate deception. I just talked to a lady today getting divorced after 30 years. I said, girl, I would have had to bust him upside his head with something or run him over with something or something. 30 years? 30 years. You ain't going nowhere. After 30 years, no. You might as well just go ahead on down, take your stuff to the basement, because you ain't going nowhere.
Take your stuff to the basement.
Yes, you're not going anywhere. That's 30 years of your life.
I'm with you. No, I agree. Like, we got to fix this, counseling or something. I just think. Go ahead.
No, it's just happening to so many people. I was going to say it's happening to so many people.
I mean, 30 years, that's a long time. I'm pretty sure everything under the sun that hit that marriage. What was the final straw? I don't know. I just think that there's some things in life can be worked out.
No, because this is the thing. This is what people are not realizing, is that sometimes people are not sent into your life as a life partner or to build you up. They're sent to destroy you. And people can't wrap their minds around that. People can't be like, no, he loves me. No, he wasn't sent to destroy me. Because when you take my time away from me, you know what I'm saying? I can't get back my time.
That's the most valuable thing that you have. And whoever you spend it with should be cherishing that. No,
but it's not. That's 30 years of her time. You know what I'm saying? And so people become, because I know for me, after I got divorced, even though I was still like kind of young, I wasn't like in my 30s quite yet, I still had children to raise. I didn't come out I came into marriage by myself, and then I came out with three more people. So I had these three people to raise. Hey. And so you still don't really just have your life. You don't really have your life. You haven't really lived your life yet. A lot of people, of course, they still talking about the Jada thing or whatever. But I can relate to her about not wanting to get married and not wanting to have children at 22. You're too young. When you're in your 20s, you need to be finding out who you are. You need to be establishing your identity. 19, you don't need to be marrying nobody at 19. And what kind of mother at 22 is telling you to get married? No, something is wrong with that picture. At 19, nobody told me, girl, you too young to get married, except for my sister. But I wasn't listening to her because she ain't like boys. She like girls. What I'm listening to you for? You don't even like boys. She was the only one who told me that I should not get married because I was too young. But I was like, I just dismissed her. I was like, girl, of course you're going to say that. You don't even like boys. So I just, flagged her off. But she was the only one. At 22 years old, your mother should not be encouraging you to marry anybody. We have got to get out of this. And that's why women are so easy to deceive. because they are raised to believe that marriage is the goal.
No, it's not. No, it's not. No.
They're not raised to think about, let me get my life as the goal. Everything is, you grow up, you get married, you have the 2.5 children and the picket fence. That's how women are raised. That's why when you hear a woman say, I don't want to be married, they act like, something is wrong with you.
Yeah, you ask them, do they want to get married every 5 damn minutes? No, they don't.
But that's why women are so easily deceived. That's why men are so easily to be able to create this illusion, because they're in their mind that's the ultimate thing, is that I get married, I get a husband, and then you haven't even had time to really establish who you are, and now you done given your life. And see, people don't realize, when you don't want to get married and you get married and you haven't established yourself, she didn't establish herself really in her career. Her career was really just starting to kind of take off, and she was getting more roles and stuff like that. Now you're married and you have children, and it's just like all your dreams and stuff have to go. Yes, people are listen, I had to deal with I had to face the resentment of it. You have a lot of bitterness about it. You be angry. If you really be honest with yourself, most women, they don't even want to admit that they didn't want, because they think, well, if I say I didn't want to have children, then that means I don't love my children. No, that's not what that means. That's not what that means. At all.
I love my kids, but if I had the opportunity, first of all, let me stop this right now. Happy birthday to my daughter. She is a lovely 14-year-old as of today.
14, happy birthday.
No, but if I had the chance to have them later on, I would have.
Absolutely.
I definitely would have.
But
that doesn't mean I don't love them, don't care about them, anything like that. But
right.
It's just,
right.
Not right now. Not right now.
Right. But women are not taught that way. Women are not taught that way. For women, the goal is marriage. Like, for women, they're raised to think that marriage is everything. Like, it is everything. And if they don't have a husband, and that's why they stay in these dysfunctional marriages, and they stay with people that they're not really supposed to be with, because they, society has these norms, and they try to conform to the norm. So I totally relate. I could totally relate, to the situation of, being married like just way too young and not having a chance to, like, who starts life at 50? You know how hard it is to start life at 50? You know what I'm saying? And so I think that what people don't realize is that your life is being stolen under the guise of this ultimate deception. You've been married 30 years and now y'all get ready to get divorced. Y'all, somebody better call the police. It's about to be a murder.
Yeah, no, I can't see that. Again, like I said, 30 years of being with somebody, you've encountered a lot of stuff. Like, what was the final thing that said, you know what, this is it? Like,
because it's like, when you come together, I think that one of the reasons is that people don't really know what the purpose of marriage is. They think the purpose of marriage is to be with somebody, to have companionship and all of that. But marriage has a purpose. It was created with a purpose in mind. And so people don't know what the purpose is. And so they create their own definitions, and they redefine what they think it is. And then it ends in devastation. Because when somebody is creating an illusion, or when they are mirroring you, they are mirroring your actions, and they're using an elaborate scheme to deceive you into believing a lie. That was the hardest thing. You've been with somebody for 10 years or 15 years or 20 years or 25 or 30 years. And then at the end of it, you'd be like, this was all a lie.
Oh, and it's that one thing that happens that they do. You go back to start. unchecking boxes, and you just realize, okay, who the hell is this person? Who was I with?
Because it steals it steals your purpose, it steals your time, and it steals your destiny.
Oh, absolutely.
It's a thief. It steals from you. You know, and I kept just seeking for the answers as to how didn't I see this? Like, what is it that I missed? Like, why didn't I see it? You know what I'm saying? And so
Mhm.
as I started to study about the deception of it, and I started to really seek answers of what is this mirroring? Like, what is this? Like, how does it work? How does it work in my life? How does it work in other people's lives? And I found that man, when
Hmm.
someone when you meet a man and you tell him all the things that you want in a man, and then he become that man.
Which is exactly why when a woman asks, "What are you looking for?" Nothing. I ain't looking for a damn thing. Be yourself. I'll determine whether or not, hey, I want to be here, I don't want to be here. But you start giving out that list of, oh, I'm looking for this, and I'm looking for
Yeah,
that, and all of a sudden now, they that. No,
they are
ain't,
that.
ain't no way.
And that's when the mirroring starts. That's when it starts. You're telling them basically exactly how to deceive you.
Mm-hmm.
You are telling them how to deceive you. And a lot of women, because if they haven't been in a relationship in a long time, or if they're just really excited about being with this dude, then they just start talking. Like, women be giving up the goods. They be giving up the intel. I be like, girl, if you don't be quiet, they be telling them about past relationships. And because sometimes
Nah.
the man will ask, well, why did you and your last relationship break up? I be like, well, that don't have nothing to do with what you and I talking about. I don't never
They
answer
don't.
that question.
They really don't. Mm-mm. Now, I will ask if there was some type of trauma there so I could be prepared for myself, but why y'all broke up don't matter. Mm-mm.
So
You
why
gotta,
you telling him that your ex is a dog and he ain't this and he did that and he took your money and he emptied out your bank account and he just moved in your house and he ain't had no job, and you're
oh,
telling
no.
him all the things that you're gonna put up with and all the things that he can get away with.
Oh
And
my
like,
God.
nobody is telling women this stuff.
We gonna tell it.
Nobody is telling women, that, because nobody wants to think that when you meet somebody for the first time, that their intention is to deceive you. Like, who wants to believe that? Nobody wants to believe that his intentions towards you is not good. Because when you're misrepresenting or omitting the truth, you're covering up, or you're pulling the wool. You know how the saying goes, you're pulling the wool over your eyes. But the thing is
Uh-huh.
about the mirroring is the projection. And the reason why, when you think about a projector, you think about, projecting the picture onto a blank canvas, onto a wall, or, a surface where there's nothing there. When
Right.
you're in your 20s, you don't know who you are. You haven't established your identity. There's nothing there. So it's easy for them to project to you your an identity of what they want you to see, because you don't even know who you are yet. And that's why a lot of these men come when you're young, because they know, and it may not even be their intention. But I find that when a man wants something, he goes after what it is that he wants. And
Mhm.
a lot of times it's not really you. It's the idea of you. It is the idea.
Mhm.
Some people want to be married
Mhm.
just to be able to say, I have a husband.
Yes. Yes. What? It's just the status. It's
Right,
something that most people can get. Yo, I'm married now.
right.
Or I think the thing for my ex was she was able to say that not only was she married, but she had both of her kids with her husband, which a lot of people could not
Right.
say at
Can't
that
say.
time.
That's true. That's
And it
true.
was like, it's really more so for a status thing more than anything.
And it's about image, you know, and a lot of times men, they looking for arm candy. They looking for arm candy. They looking for somebody that looks good. Not somebody that necessarily has the virtues or the characteristics, because they feel like, hey, I already got that. I just need somebody that looks good on my arm.
Because then you get stuck with that pretty girl BS, and that's the worst. I'm good.
So it's like, you know, when you meet somebody and they're, to me, when people exaggerate, my red flags go up. When they start saying, oh, you know, no one has never made me feel this way. You the best person that I ever had. You know, when they start exaggerating, first of all, okay, you can't say I'm the best you ever had. We just met. You ain't been with me long enough to even know all the aspects of my personality. You know what I'm saying? I could be a bee in the morning. You know what I mean? You don't even know. So it's just like when you dealing with somebody and they got all these exaggerations, to me, that's a red flag, Dante.
Yeah, because I believe that. No, I'm with you. I ain't listen. I ain't that great. Calm down. No, how many people you been with? Nobody. I'm the first. Okay, you're right.
And that's the thing, you know. That's the thing. It's like people take that as flattery, they take that as a compliment, but they're not understanding that it's an exaggeration. And I know that that makes you feel good when somebody say things like that to you. Oh, you know, I never met anybody like you. You know what I'm saying? And so it makes you feel good, but it's also part of the deception. It's also a part of the elaborate, you know, lies. And that was a thing for me. I was like, God, why didn't I see this? And it was like, when you're see, it's a difference between deception and lying. Lying is a part of deception, but deception means that you are intentionally keeping things from me.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? You are doing this on purpose. So it's certain things you don't want me to see. You don't want me to see those things on purpose. So you not seeing it is really no fault of your own, because they are projecting to you what it is that you want. You know,
Right.
They're projecting to you, okay, oh, I want a man that's generous. I want a man that's, shows affection. That he's going to become all those people. He's going to become everything that you say you looking for in a man. And so it's almost like the more I kept studying it, it's like they take what you like, your likes and your dislikes, and they wear it like a costume. So what you're looking at, that's what makes the mirroring so the deception and the mirroring so successful. Because they copy your speech, your words, your attitude. They match your behavior, your energy, everything. They literally wear you like a costume. And when you look back at them, you see yourself. So what you're really falling in love with and what you're really liking is you. And it also tricks you into self-worship. That's where the whole narcissistic story comes in. He was staring at himself in his own reflection. So it's a form of self-worship. And you don't even realize that you are really being tricked into worshiping and falling in love with your own reflection or your own projection. I was like, oh my God. See, y'all think it's cute to match energy and match behavior and all of that. No, they are literally stealing your identity right before your eyes.
Right. Yep. I ain't matching nothing. I'm gonna be me. If it works, it works. If it don't work, don't work.
Well, see, the thing is that, yeah, go ahead.
No, but this is also why the friend zone is important. Because if they're in the friend zone long enough, that stuff's gonna come out. Like, you're willing to tell friends more stuff or reveal more stuff about you than you are if you're in a relationship with that person and still getting to know them. Because it's like, okay, let me hide this because you don't want to you don't want to piss them off or you don't want them looking at you a certain way. But your friends, where they going? Some of them, but for the most part, where they going?
But the thing is that your friends can't give you what your man can give you. You know what I'm saying? You don't really care about your friends. Your man is giving you something that your friends can't give you. So you want to put your best foot forward. You know how people say when you meet somebody for the first time, you're meeting their representative.
Yeah, not me. Nope. Listen, I'm over 30. Whatever. You gonna be here or you're not. But I
Well,
understand
because
a lot of
you're
people don't
not,
have that mentality.
because you're not being deceptive. We're talking
Mhm.
about people that's being deceptive because apparently you have something that they want. We're talking about these predatory relationships, and a lot of people are in them. I be watching these little celebrity shows and Love and Hip Hop, and I watch them just to see what am I going to see. And majority of them are dysfunctional relationships. Their relationships are not working out either. And some of their relationships is worse than anything I've ever seen. Oh my God. They got so much baggage and issues and junk and stuff. You just be like, how did they ever get together?
Yeah.
She said, but people be wanting relationship treatment in the friend zone. Yes.
Nope. No, I mean, no. Yes, absolutely, yes. But nah, I mean, if it is what it is, this is what it. This is where we at. Boundaries.
But it's not, but you can't. What does a relationship really mean, though? Relationship means that I can relate to you. I can relate to you. We have something in common. That's what relationship is. That means we have something in common. I can relate to you. I just met you. We don't know what that is yet.
No.
Like we don't know how we relate or what we feel about certain things because you're too busy taking the information that I'm giving you and projecting it back onto me. Because why? Because I haven't established my own identity yet. That's what this is really about. And so many people are trapped for years and years and years and years and years. And I think that this is a dynamic that we're seeing played out over and over and over and over again. Anytime something hits the stage, that means a lot of people are dealing with it.
Right.
That means a lot of people are dealing with it. And a lot of people need answers. A lot of people need answers. And that's why we come on here, to try to share our experiences to help give them those answers because it's devastating. When you find out you've been deceived and you've lived a lie and you've been with somebody for 10 and 15, 20 and 30 years, you know how devastating that is?
What? What? Yes. Yes, I do. And the first thing you do, you start questioning yourself because you made this choice. What did I do wrong? What happened? Why am I just now seeing this? It's not the fact that you're just not seeing it. It's really more so the fact you're just now acknowledging it because you actually see it for what it is now. Oh, but I've been there a couple times.
But it takes so long. It takes a long time. Like the deception is, this thing is elaborate. It's a scheme. You look at that projection every single day. When I was married, it was like we were relationship goals. We were young and had a very mature relationship. The adults was like, we don't even have a relationship the way y'all have a relationship. And so you don't realize that because it doesn't really start out necessarily that way. So you don't have those feelings because see, manipulation don't feel like manipulation. It don't look like manipulation. It feels regular. It feels natural. It feels very normal. So it's not like, that's why it's so covert. You don't realize that you're being manipulated. You don't realize that you're being controlled.
No, which is why that's why it goes on for so long because you think you're actually in control and you're not.
And you're
just
not.
Let them believe that way.
Exactly. So, that's why people are just opting to just stay in it. Like, hey, I've been in it this long.
No, I'm good.
I might well just stay in it.
Nope. No. Because you choosing to stay in is also choosing to waste your time because eventually this thing's gonna come to a head.
But still, though, like when you've been in a marriage or a relationship, you have assets, you've accumulated things, and you got to split things down the middle. And oh my God, you want to see
Mm,
something ugly? Now, if you don't have nothing, if you ain't got nothing, you ain't have anything, then you ain't gonna have a problem. But if you have if one of you have accumulated stuff, and it's normally the man, it's normally the man.
mhm.
Because what you're sacrificing is you're sacrificing your dreams, you're sacrificing your potential and the things you could have done with your life. You can't get who can give you that back?
No, but going through that divorce is beautiful because I got my peace of mind back.
You got
Grant, we
your
didn't
piece of
have any my peace of mind, my actual like peace back. Because ain't nothing worse than be with somebody and it's just chaos all the time.
so it's like, we are giving up too much information too soon. I think
Mhm.
as women, we need to just kind of fall back and not, because if you tell him you want a generous man, well, he's gonna act out being generous. So he's gonna use your words against you. And majority of these relationships are predatory. One girl, she got on social media and said 80% of men are DL. 80%. 80%.
What?
That's more than the majority.
First of all, where did she get this statistic from?
I mean, you hear stories. I heard
No, unfortunately you do. But damn.
80%. She said 80% of men on the DL. And so it's a whole new breed of things now that you have to deal with when you're dealing with deception and you're dealing with mirror. My gaydar is on point. So, and I can look at the most masculine man, the masculine ones too, and because it's always, because like I always say, we are spirit, and
Right.
that's a spirit. That's a spirit. And if you got that spirit, I can see that you got it. So I don't even really too much worry about that. But some of the most masculine men, see, before you could kind of tell who was who and who wasn't who. But now they put suits on and be looking all, what I'm saying, delicious and everything. And women they be deceived by that. Okay, and I really want to just really focus on that because nobody thinks that they can be deceived. Yes, you can.
Yeah, you can. Yes,
She
you
said,
can.
right, just go with your intuition. I'm telling you. But we ignore our intuition because he's making us feel good. He's telling us everything that we want to hear. And we haven't, some people may not have been in a relationship for a while. All of that is part of it. All of that's part of it. So women, a lot of women don't really go. They don't really go with their intuition. I know. I haven't done any research on that number.
Yeah.
I don't know, but she said 80% of men are
That's
on
a
the
lot.
DL. That's
That's a
more
lot.
than the majority.
That's a lot. I don't know. I don't know. It sounds like she was hurt by somebody. I don't know.
That's
I
like
don't
eight.
know.
That's like 8 out of 10.
Right.
That's more
Two
than the
are cool,
majority.
but the other eight,
I
yeah,
haven't
I don't know. I don't
haven't
know
done
about
any
that.
research on those numbers, but that's pretty high.
That's very high.
Now,
Extremely.
this is what I found out about when people mirror you. When they mirror you to deceive you, they become chameleons. We've met these people all the time. Have you ever met anybody who? Let me see what she said. She said, I need to see where she got her information from her gator. She said her gator is off. Hers is
Oh,
off.
yeah,
Like 80%, that's a lot. Yeah, she
that
said
is a
her
lot.
gator is off. But see, some women don't have gator. Some people don't have gator. I'm trying to think of a relationship off the top of my head where the person is married and their husband is gay. Oh, I'm gonna say the name, Kim Fields. Kim Fields' husband. Because it's a spirit. We are spirit. And when there's another something else inside of there, you can see it. I'm a gifted seer. That's why I had such a hard time when I got divorced. I was like, God, why didn't I see it? Because I can see in the spirit. So you don't have to, wear a purse or high heels. You know what I'm saying? My discerning of spirits is very sharp. I see straight through people. And so it's a spirit. It don't have nothing to do with, you trying to be whatever you trying to be. Is that spirit in there? It's this lady, I ain't gonna say her name. It's this lady that would come on when I first started doing lives, I would come on Periscope. And a lot of people was on Periscope, cutting their teeth on the, broadcast of their producing thing. And I told my daughter, I said, that lady is gay. She was on there talking about God this and Jesus that. And, they love God too. There's nothing wrong with them loving God. But my thing is that, don't try to come on here and act like you straight when you're not. I have a problem with them type of people. Like, if you want to be that, be that. Don't hide it.
Mm-hmm.
Come on out with it. And so she was, she had went to go visit this lady, and it came out. And it was just like, it looked like almost like it was sniffing the lady. I called my daughter. I said, look at it. Look at it. Look at that thing. I told you. Fast forward. She done came out the closet. Okay. She done came out. And now she is married to a woman. Why you just couldn't say that from the beginning? Why you gonna try to act like you straight and you've been delivered and all of this? No, you haven't. And it's another lady that comes out claiming that she's been delivered, and she's not. I told my daughter, I couldn't wait to tell my daughter. I said, I told you this lady was gay. I told you she was. It's like, she just had to come out and tell her truth. You should have been came out and told your truth. What you don't hide? What you hide for? Because I see you. So for me, I just couldn't understand. Lord, show me how is it that this thing was able to happen in my life. And he was showing me that the chameleon, these people are chameleons. You've been around chameleons. You ever been around somebody who, just be yourself, but they don't. Why they be wanting to hide, I don't really know. You ever been around somebody who, when they get around people, they get brand new, they change to a different person?
Mm-hmm. All the time. Yeah. That ain't you. Or whatever story you may have, they got the same story too, but it's worse.
Right.
The Mr. and Mrs. Me Too.
Mr. and Mrs. Me Too. I can't stand these people. I can't stand them.
Telling your story, like, I walked down the street and 6 ninjas popped up, man. Last week, 20 ninjas popped out on me. All right, dog. What?
I can't stand these people. Oh my God. I cannot. She said a lot of people are scared on how are people going to view them. Don't nobody care.
No, you're absolutely right. You shouldn't care. But unfortunately, because they're looking for the validation of other people, it matters so much to them. So they're literally reading the room to see who's more important or who people are flocking to, and then they chameleon or that they imitate that person because that person's liked, they're welcomed, and they don't have the confidence in themselves to go off and just be themselves. So they got to go and be someone else.
So now you a fraud. See, that's what I'm saying. So now you're gonna walk around being a fraud. So this is the thing. Either it's how you view you, which is your self-esteem, how you see yourself, or versus how other people see you. Which one is more important?
I mean, logically, how you view yourself.
Right.
But they don't consider that option first. They consider how other people view them because they don't see themselves. It's about how
you see me.
Again,
I have to
how would
live
you?
with me. See, we back to the mirror. Let me tell y'all something about a mirror. Okay, let's do some science. A mirror on the other side is dark. When your picture is cast, when your face is cast to the back of that mirror, that's the real you. That's in the dark. The light has to take that image, turn it upside down, okay, and then push it as a projection to the front. So when you look at yourself in the mirror, you're not even seeing the real you. You're seeing yourself backwards. When you walk through life being a fraud, you're lying to yourself, you're worrying about what other people think, then you're living your life upside down and backwards. How does that make you feel on the inside? I have to be able to look at myself in the mirror and like what it is I see, because I have to live with me. I don't have to live with them people. I can care less about how you view me. It's how I view me. That's what this is. And that's why you're so easy to be deceived. That's another reason you're so easy to be deceived, because you are not being the worst kind of deception is self-deception. Because for real, nobody can really deceive you unless you're deceiving yourself. I could care less about how you view me. I don't live with you. I have to live with me. We got to stop this. Okay, we have to stop that. Okay, if you gay, just say you gay. Okay, what we gonna do? We ain't gonna stone you. Okay, you gay or not? We gotta get out of that. That's why people are being so easily deceived, because they is self-deception. That's the worst kind of deception. And then people come and project you to yourself, and then you fall for it. Because you done gave them the information to deceive you further. Man, this is serious. This is serious. This is your life. You can't get back time. You were placed here for a purpose. They still on your time. 30 years is a lot of time. She can't get 30 years.
That's a lot of time. No, she cannot. We got to compromise that some way, somehow.
When people are chameleons and they start to feed you your own information back to you, so that when you look at them, that's who you see. Come on. Why? Because we're not given the time, because your identity is blank. They're projecting you on a blank space because your identity is blank. So basically, by you worrying about how they view you, you're becoming what they want you to become instead of what you were purposed to become. That's how serious this thing is. Like last time I checked, you ain't died for me.
Nope.
How you view me is moot. You know what moot means? Irrelevant.
Highly.
It's irrelevant.
Shouldn't even be talking about it.
It don't even fit into the equation of my life. It has no bearing on anything. I could care less about how you view me, what you think about me. It doesn't fit anywhere for any reason. For what reason do I need your information to tell me who the hell I am and what it is I'm supposed to be doing? If I like girls, that's my business. It ain't none of your business. That's between me and God. Point blank. So to me, she was saying that, people think that you can't love God and be gay. I don't know why not. I don't know why you can't. You should have just been straight from the door, because you can see it. I can see the thing on them. I could see the thing. Now she's married. Now everybody all shocked and amazed. Okay.
Don't know why. Man.
And we have these people in our environment. They pay attention to your cues, your signals, your gestures, all your idiosyncrasies and everything. And they feed you your information and they project it back to you. And you literally fall in love with yourself. Why? Because people are operating in deception and don't even realize it. Matter of fact, deception is everywhere. We're in a time now we can't even, man, it's so many scammers. People are so desperate for money. You got to check everything out. Everything. You got to be going to the business bureau, checking out these businesses before you do business with people, before you cash out people stuff. Man, it's so much deception happening right now. It's not even funny. You got to check everything out now. Everything and everybody. You can't take nobody's word for anything. Deception is at an all-time high. And so there's certain things about the Will Smith story that I can relate to as far as Jada is concerned, saying she didn't want to be married. 22 is too young to be married. And her mother was very irresponsible to force her to get married when she didn't want to. That was very irresponsible of her mother to do. Her mom needs therapy too. All of them. Oh. Because at 22 years old, your daughter shouldn't be. So what? She pregnant. So getting pregnant. It's not the 60s and 70s where you had shotgun weddings, where the girl got married and then got pregnant and daddy standing there with the shotgun walking you down the aisle. That's what?
Guess I'm getting shot because what?
Because now look at her. She's 50 years old and she's bitter. She's envious. She's jealous. She probably has a lot of resentment and a lot of regret. Because I know when I first got divorced, I had a lot of regret. I had to work through the regret. I had to work through the resentment. I had to work through the bitterness, the anger. Because you'd be like, well, I could have did this with my life. I done wasted 14 years of my life. I could have been doing something else.
Mm-hmm.
That don't just go away. And then your husband is in the same profession you in. All he did was read a couple books. He up here getting Oscars and Grammys and Emmys and everything else. You went to school to be this thing, and you ain't did anything in the field. Yup, that ding, 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 ding. Come on. Her mother wanted her to marry a rich man with money. That's what she wanted. What we call that? What do we call that? Sacrificing your children. We call that prostituting your child. Ding, ding, ding. That's what she wanted. Ain't no way in the world at 22 she should have been telling that girl, and she telling her, and she studied saying, I don't want to get married. And they laughing. And now she 50. Now they dragging her name all through the mud and everything because she's struggling. I can relate to the woman. I'm sorry. Y'all can say whatever y'all want to say. I could care less about it. I can relate to it. Now she's 50. She don't know what she could have been as an actress. And then she got to watch him and go to the Oscars with him and go to all the award shows, places that she wouldn't even have access to. You don't know what her life could have been. And I'm sure she's regretting it. That's why she can't get over that past relationship, because she's stuck in the past.
Ooh.
She's stuck in woulda, coulda, shoulda land.
Yeah, that's the worst place to be.
Ooh, yes, it is. Dear God.
That is the worst place to be, because you always gonna have a flashback of, if I would have just did this, and maybe life would have been better. Nah. Ooh, Lord.
But it's so interesting. When I first heard her share that, I could relate to it. I was like, man, it's like they gang up on you. They gang up on you. And they just be acting like, oh, because you pregnant. Ain't nobody getting married because they pregnant. Oh, because I think they had already been together too. So it's like, okay, y'all already been together. You're going to get married anyway. But yeah, we're not going to get married right now. It's because I'm pregnant. And they gang up on you and be like, well, and they be talking you into it. You be saying, well, no. You be saying no, because you have your own idea of what you want your life to be. That's why you got to be true to yourself. You got to be true to yourself at all costs. If people view you a certain way, then that means they don't supposed to be in your life.
Right.
They don't understand. They could kick rocks. Nobody care. You got to always be true to yourself, regardless. Because when you don't be true to yourself, I'm telling you, regret is the hardest thing to have to be grappling with. It's a tough place to be. Especially when you're in your 50s and you haven't accomplished the things you know you're capable of.
Mm-hmm.
I know I could have had just as good a career as he had, if not better.
Right.
Because I did go to performing arts school. All you did was read 6 books. You ain't went to school nowhere. You read some books. And it's just like you gotta, and then she had to reconcile with her mom so that the pictures she did go to be in, she had to watch the kids for her. But that's still not me being free. Marriage is not for everybody. Y'all got to get out of that thinking that marriage is the end all to the be all. Marriage is not for everybody.
Marriage is just the start. The goal is to keep it together. And that's a consistent, everyday thing.
And when you're 22,
married is easy.
You ain't thinking about that at no 22 and 19. Child,
no.
It's too much responsibility. It's too much. That's why when my husband said, I don't want to be nobody's father. I don't want to make no decisions. I don't want to. It was too much responsibility. It was too much for him. We 19, been together since 15, and now we got 3 children, and we in our mid-20s. It's too much with no support system. It's too much. That's why I said, be free. Go do you. Do your thing. Do whatever it is that you feel like you need to do. I won't stand in your way, and bye-bye. Sometimes you got to love somebody enough to let them go.
Yes. Yes, you do.
Y'all be putting a chokehold on people. It's got a chokehold on them.
Like a Popeyes biscuit with no drink.
Acting like y'all, because they think ain't nobody else gonna come along. They think nobody else they're not gonna get anybody else. Let them people go. Y'all keep saying Will need to let Jada go. No, he need to let her go. No, he should have just let that cage open and let that woman be free.
Let the cage open.
Because let me tell you, when you're a free spirit, I'm telling you, when you are a free spirit, marriage feels like a cage. Because you can't make decisions like on the fly. You got to go talk to your husband about this. It's almost like you got to get permission. People are not mature enough to allow you to be who you are and trust that you're going to do the right thing when you're not in their presence. So you got to run everything by each other. Like, don't nobody want to do that.
No. You should be in a relationship where you should be able to do whatever you want to do. Do your heart's content. If you decide to leave, whatever. Go ahead.
Exactly. But it's not like that. And so I think that this is something that everybody should be looking at. I think everybody should be looking at their because eventually what's going to happen is the mirror is something's going to shatter that mirror. That picture that's been projected to you, something's going to happen and it's going to be shattered.
And that's the worst. It
is the worst.
Because now it's like once that picture is shattered, you can see things for what they are. It's like, what have I been doing for all this time? What I've been looking at? And then at that point, your sense of self immediately comes back because it's like, what? I did this for this long? I allowed them to get away with this? No, I got to go.
It's devastating. It's very devastating because you feel like you've lived your life wrong. That's how I felt. I felt like I had lived my life all wrong. And then because you try to fit your life into these social norms of what people say is success. Or if you have the house, you have the money, you have the car, that's success. But I'm here to tell you that it's not. I'm here to tell you that I had all those things, and all I had was for my possessions to own me. Because you're not working because you want to work. You're working to keep your stuff.
Right.
You working so you won't lose your apartment. You working so you won't lose your car. You working so you won't lose your house. You working to pay off your credit cards. Your possessions possess you. And that's why I can't stand in business when people come online promoting cars and houses and drip and Gucci and Fendi and Louis and all of that, because you got to maintain that stuff.
Yep. It's just half the story. They'll tell you how to get it, but not how to maintain it.
You have to maintain that stuff. And if you're not operating in your money game to the level that you could be paying cash money for stuff, you're going to be working for your stuff. You can't miss no days. You got to go to work, deal with all them crazy people, your supervisors, your co-workers, all the office politics, all that crap. You got to constrain yourself, have self-control so you won't catch nobody in the parking lot, so you won't lose your job. Because if you lose your job, you're going to lose your house, your car. You're going to lose your house. You're going to lose everything. You're not working because you want to. You're working because you have to. And there is a level in business that you have to get to. I am so tired of people listening to these people act like they rolled out a bed making 7 figures. You a liar. You are a liar, because it doesn't work that way.
That do be sounding real simple.
Don't work that way. It takes time. It takes effort and perseverance. You fall down, you make mistakes, you got to get up. You got to you got to tweak your plan. All kind of stuff be going on. You got all kind of stuff. It's almost like I think this man, he used the example of business. Building a business is like flying, jumping out of a plane and building a business before you hit the ground. Now, sip on that. You know what I mean? And so we cannot no longer just keep allowing ourselves to be deceived. We got to operate in truth. We got to operate in what's real. Not what they told us what real was, but what's really real. And I said, you know what? I'm not even going, I don't even want to live this life no more. I don't even want to live this life no more. I walked away from everything. I quit. I left my job, sold my house, everything. Because this is not how I want to live my life. If you don't own it, you can't afford it.
All right.
Because your possessions own you. And then it's easy for you to be deceived, because now here comes somebody, they got a couple dollars. Now you won't put your little couple dollars with their couple dollars. And then next thing you know, y'all been together 15 years. Now he ready,
a couple dollars.
He ready to split and take his little couple dollars with him. Ain't nobody got tired of that. If you would have just stayed by yourself in your 20s, if you just dedicated your 20s to yourself, I tell young people this all the time. Dedicate your 20s to yourself. Give yourself 10 years. If you're going to go to college, go to college. If you're going to start a business, start a business. Whatever you're going to do, give yourself 10 years. Don't talk about marrying nobody. Don't try to be in no serious relationship. Don't have no babies. Give yourself a chance at life. If you having babies and getting married at 20s, what your 30s and 40s going to look like?
Babysitting.
It takes 20 years to raise kids. Kids don't get grown to 18 years. But by the time they get grown, you almost 40. The men throwing you away at 30. They saying by the time you're 30, they don't even want you no more.
What's up?
Oh, it's real. It took so much time. And it was when I started the business, every time something didn't go right, every time something didn't go the way I thought it should go, I was like, see, I should have did this when I was in my 20s. I should have already had a business already. I should already be this, and I should already be that. I had to get out of that. I had to get out of the land of regret. Because regret keeps you what? Looking backwards. Because you've been conditioned to think backwards and upside down. You're not seeing things the way they are. When that glass gets shattered, you're going to be devastated. I was devastated. I was devastated. That's why I kept studying this thing. I kept saying, God, what is this? How are they able to do this and you don't see it? They literally wear you. They literally project you to you, and they wear you like a costume. You are in a relationship with you through them. You know how dangerous that is. Because why? Your self-esteem is how you see yourself. You can't see yourself through somebody else's eyes.
Well, you can't.
When you're worrying about how somebody else see you, that means you're trying to see yourself through somebody else's eyes. No. You need to see yourself for who you really are through your own eyes, through the eyes of God, of what your purpose and destiny is supposed to be. Because that's what you're really giving up. Many times I wanted to give up and throw in the towel, many times. And it's like, just keep going, just keep going. Because when you give up, they won. Because they're identity thieves. They steal your identity. They steal from you, and she was saying that today. She was saying that, I just threw away 30 years of my life. I felt so bad for her. And now she got all these ailments and sicknesses, and they had to do surgery on her eyes. I said, girl, you trusted the doctors to let them do surgery on your eyes? Girl, I don't be trusting no doctors like that on my eyeballs. Poor woman. She got so many ailments and problems and issues. And he want to take everything from her, the house and everything. She was like, I want to keep the house so I can have something to pass down to the children. So now she live with her sister. The woman she looked like she about in her 60s. And what has she accomplished? All because nobody is telling us the truth. Marriage, you got plenty of time to be married. You shouldn't be thinking about being married till you in your 30s. You shouldn't be thinking about having no children until you about in your 30s. Give yourself 10 years. Because if you go to college, 18, 2 years, 20, you have an associate's, 2 more years of bachelor's, right? You'll be 22. Okay. So let's say 26. If you decide to go that route, the college route, you have them, you go ahead and get your PhD, because a master's, you might as well just get your PhD. Hey, you get you a good 6-figure paying job, whatever. Or if you want to start a business, you might make $1 million before that 6 years is up. But you haven't given yourself a chance. You haven't said to yourself, I'm capable. I could do this. I could take care of myself. And it sounds cruel. It sounds so cruel for her to say, I don't need no protecting. But you got to look at this woman's background. This woman came up in the streets of Baltimore. Her mother was on drugs. Okay. Her grandmother was over here teaching her how to play with herself at 9. This woman raised herself. I can relate to it. I'm telling you, I'm sorry. Y'all can say whatever. I can relate to it. When you raise yourself, you learn how to protect yourself. You don't look for nobody to give you no protection. And you know what I'm saying? And when you get married, that don't change. Y'all think marriage is the cure for everything. It's not. Y'all think marriage is the cure for loneliness? It's not. If anything, marriage is going to trigger you more. I can relate. You grow up protecting yourself. You don't have nobody. Your mother's not there. Your father's not there. You're raising yourself. That's not going to change when you get married. All of a sudden now you think your husband going to be your protector. No, that's not how you've lived your life. You haven't been conditioned to think that way. If he protects you, cool. If not, I got me. I got me. If he never lift a finger to do anything for me, I got me. And
I don't know about that part.
They steal that from you because you ain't raised yourself. You had a mother that was there for you, looking after you and making sure you were fine. You didn't have to raise yourself. You didn't raise yourself. You had a mother that was there cooking and making sure that home was right, and you had dinner and, you know, teaching you about the things of God and taking you to church. You didn't have to protect yourself. Because I would beat the bloody murder out of somebody that bothered you. So you don't know what it's like to be raised and you're neglected and you're abandoned as a child, and you got to raise yourself and you got to be your own protection on the earth. You ain't looking for no protection from nobody. So while everybody being all judgmental, you don't know what it's like to walk in those type of shoes. That don't change because you get married to somebody. A lot of times when you marry, you feel more lonely when you married than you did when you were single. Especially if your husband ain't never home. He chasing his dreams. And you home raising the children. So I'm telling you, it is the ultimate deception. This distorted mirror that we have been looking into, that we've allowed somebody else to paint the picture of our lives. The greatest thing I could have ever done is start my own business, because it allowed me to design the life that I want for myself. It allowed me to live life on my own terms. I answer to no one but God, period. What the rest of everybody think, I could care absolutely less. It's moot. It's irrelevant. It means nothing. It means nothing. I don't have to live with you. I ain't got to look at you. I don't have to talk to you. I don't have to answer to you. When I stand before God, I will stand alone. My mother won't be there. My father, my children won't be there. I will stand alone. We have got to get out of this self-deception. We got to get out of what people think about us. Because then that's how people come and deceive you and steal your whole identity, your time, your purpose, your destiny. I'm talking about myself. I had to start completely over 3 times. 3 times. When I came to Houston, I said, this is it, God. I ain't starting over no more. This is it. 3 times I had to start over. This thing is serious. This ain't no game. And people come in your life and try to play you against you. Because you don't know who you are, and nobody told you that you need to be spending time for yourself. And the church show ain't gonna tell you. The church be trying to marry people off. They don't allow people to be single and allow them to be whole, to find out who they are, to build up their identity, to build up their confidence, to build them up. They don't deal with the issues of life. They don't deal with the dysfunction. There's so much dysfunction that we're dealing with in our families. They don't talk about that stuff. How do you get married at 19 and 22? You ain't even dealt with all that stuff that you grew up with. You ain't even dealt with all that stuff. Then you're going to carry all of that into a marriage. And then you think the marriage is going to work. It's not going to work. It's going to crumble every time. It's just a matter of how long it's going to take before the mirror is shattered. How long is it going to take? Is it going to take 10 years, 5 years, 7 years? Is it going to take 20, 25 years? How much of your life are you willing to sacrifice living your life in the ultimate deception? Close us out, Dante.
Not too much, no, because that marriage is a dangerous place. But you have to put the signs in place early on. Just like Miss Greg said earlier, you do have to follow your own intuition. You do have to ask questions. I mean, even when you apply for some of these jobs, they push you through a whole probation period before they even say, all right, we're going to do this. When it comes down to the people in your life, the same thing needs to happen. Otherwise, you're going to be looking at that broken mirror, ask yourself, what happened? Where did time go? Time lost is time lost. You can't get that back. It's the most valuable thing that you have. Not money, not possessions. It's time, because the time you spend with someone, you can't get it back. That memory is going to be a good one, or it's going to be a bad one. And there's no worse feeling than going back and thinking that you're creating good memories with someone, just to realize you've been taken advantage of. I've been there. Tad bit of a sore spot, because it's like you look back and you say to yourself, I could have been further on, or my career would have been better off if I just never knew you. So all in all, I'm so serious. Like,
It's true.
there was a thing. No, because if you can just unmeet some people, that would be great. Like,
That's
they
funny. Unmeet, Dante. You said unmeet some people.
unmeet, like, you know how you got it's on Facebook a lot. You got the door where you got 10,000 or 100 million, or you can go through this door and correct all your mistakes. No, I'm unmeeting some people. You just go, just, hey, don't even need to know my name. You don't even know, you're not gonna be here that long in my life. Like, you serve no purpose other than, of course, to just steal that time. Now I'm trying to play catch up, because you're not getting any younger. You're getting older, and you
Yeah.
still have things that you have to accomplish.
Yeah.
And it's not like with the 20s versus 30s. Not to say that you're not in shape, but you got to work a little harder in the gym.
Yep.
No, like when you in your 20s, you get hurt, you just bounce off. Okay, cool. If I get hurt, I gotta go get a CAT scan, MRI, and a doctor's note. You're losing time and strength along the way. So you definitely have to be careful. One, who you let in your life, and two, the amount of time that you give them. Because just as much as you're giving them time for them, you should
Woo.
be giving time to you as well.
Yep.
And that is
So
it.
unmeet some people. I think
Yes,
I like that. I think I'm gonna put that on a shirt. I want to
go and put that
unmeet
on the
some
shirt.
people.
Yes.
Unmeet. I like that. I got a few people I would have loved to unmeet.
Yes, just unmeet. Give me back my time. Oh.
But you know what? This is how you redeem your time. You redeem your time by getting in purpose. You just find out what it is you're supposed to be doing, and you just start doing it. And fulfilling purpose brings you such a level of satisfaction. It brings you such a level of contentment. I just want women to stop making marriage the number one goal. Because they sacrificing themselves. They're not choosing them. I want women to choose them. Choose you, choose yourself.
And choose someone who, and if you do decide to choose somebody who's going to choose you as well.
Right.
Yeah,
Exactly.
no, that's
when you live, and this is the thing, right? You hear a lot of people misquote this scripture, and I'm gonna leave us with this: that the truth will set you free. It doesn't say the truth will set you free. It says the truth you know. So that means the truth that you have a relationship with. Truth has to be absolute. It can't be your truth, your mama's truth. It has to be the absolute truth, because absolute truth is unmovable. And that's what you need. You need to take your perception to the truth. That's how you create change. And so we walking around with our own truth, and that's another part of the deception. In order for you to live life the way that it's supposed to be lived and not the way it's interpreted for you, you got to know not what's true for the other person, but God, what's true for me? What's true for me? What is the plan for me? What's the purpose for me? And that's how you redeem your time, because you get in there and you find out what's true for you, and what's your purpose, and what you're destined to do. What were you created to do? And you get to doing it. And then you look up and you operating in it. And then you're able to see these people clearly. I can see these people a mile away. Because I've been through it. I know the tactics. The word says we'll not be ignorant of the devices or the scheme. This is a scheme. Deception is a scheme to trick you to steal your identity and your purpose and your time and your destiny. It's designed to steal you from you. Thank you guys for showing up. And I want you guys to think about that really seriously. And we will see you guys next Sunday.